Ciao comrades! Today we are looking at a retro handheld with square screen, 1:1 ratio. So far we have seen vertical and horizontal handhelds, either in 16:9 or 4:3. But this one is first ever with square LCD, which is a very weird design choice from my point of view, and maybe, just maybe, there was a reason nobody made it, cause it never made a whole lot of sense. If you would want me to make a review in 3 still pictures, this is the first one, this is second one, and this is the third one. And these 3 pictures are basically the whole premise of this device. If you would want me to go a little more into the detail, then keep watching. This, my friends, is RGB30 from PowKiddy. It is run in GelOS, it has 1 GB of RAM, RK3566 CPU, and 4-inch 1:1 LCD screen, and it is the strangest device I have ever seen. That might be a bit overstatement, but it is strange nonetheless. It's made out of plastic and it has classic PowKiddy layout, stereo speakers, clickable switch style joysticks, D-pad action buttons, start and select from the front side, from the bottom 2 USB-Cs, 2 micro SD slots and headphone jack. From the top, bumpers, triggers, volume, power, reset and HDMI out. All the buttons are doable, they are nothing special, all except bumpers and triggers. They are very bad. First time I can say LNR2 are easier pressed than LNR1. But this shouldn't be an issue, cause if you would ever want to buy this device, it is not because of the bumpers, it is cause of the square screen. And for the games that utilize it, you don't need triggers and bumpers, you need good games. And I'm not absolutely claiming there are no good games for square screen, but I am a very practical person, and that means if I'm meant to pay $90 for a solid chip that can play even Dreamcast and PSP, I wouldn't sacrifice my viewing pleasure for 1:1 ratio, especially considering you end up with the bezels anyway, because Game Boy and Game Boy Color screens are not perfectly square, they are 44:40 pixels, so there are some leftover pixels, as I'm sure you already noticed. I personally would rather choose the sweet middle ground, 4:3 ratio. That's almost square. Here I'm comparing 4-inch 4:3 screen and 4-inch 1:1 screen. Difference is negligible in my opinion. And the bezels on the sides are a tiny bit bigger than the bezels at the top and bottom on the square screen. Here I'm comparing it to 5.5-inch screen with 16:9 ratio that you can buy for pretty much same price. And you get even bigger 1:1 output. Yeah, there are the huge bezels at the sides, still you get an added benefit of enjoying also other aspect ratio games with greater viewing pleasure. Realistically, this handheld is best for Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Gear, Neo Geo Pocket, Pocket Color, and obviously for Pico 8, that one is perfectly squared. For Pico 8, the emulator was included, but not a single game inside my 128 gig SD card, which I had found very weird, so I was adding my own games. If you would ever wanna play Dreamcast on 1:1 screen, there are bezels on the top and bottom that are by default filled by retro arch bezels. I prefer to have it purely black, I found it less obtrusive. NES, SNES, Master System, Mega Drive, Dreamcast, PS1, Arcade, MAME, even DS games are all 4:3, so you end up with the same bezels at the top and bottom. Game Boy Advance is like 3:2, that means also bezels. PlayStation Portable is 16:9, so you end up with a really tiny slice of screen in the middle with the thick bezels below and above. This really got me thinking, who this device is exactly for, and the only answer that comes to mind is that it is for the true Game Boy lovers. For the hardcore pixel perfect zealots that doesn't take no as an answer. If you are one of them, it might be worth getting, it's not as expensive. Right now they're selling it for around $90. This reminds me, huge thanks to Lit NXT for providing this unit for an honest review, it is greatly appreciated. Check this and other products on their website, link is down below. Now to my final thoughts. I like the audio quality, stereo speakers are quite loud and enjoyable. Screen quality is not bad. Price to performance ratio not bad either. What I don't like the shape of the device, especially when you are meant to use triggers, that I don't like either. And obviously I don't like the screen ratio. I like many Game Boy and Pico 8 games,
but I can enjoy them perfectly even on my 4x3 device. RGB30 reminds me a lot of RK2023, also from PowKiddy, with same specs, but 4x3 3.5 inch screen, and you can get it for pretty much the same price. I would rather use that one, cause it suits my needs better. Or ideally, I would use something even more powerful like RG405M with 4 inch 4x3 screen, but that one costs quite a bit more. Or there is still a choice of PowKiddy X55 with 5.5 inch 16:9 LCD. Like always, it is entirely up to you. I hope this video helped you to gather more information. Thanks for watching. Check any of my other retro handheld reviews. I've put them in the right corner. Thanks to members and patrons for support. Peace out.